This playthrough is rated E10+.
The morning sun has vanquished the horrible night. How apropos. Greetings and salutations, viewers, to the finale of Castlevania II Simon's Quest. In the last episode, we went through the final mansions, defeated Camilla, the vampiress, and now it's on to Dracula himself to put his body to rest once for all and to defeat this curse. Have we done it in a good amount of time? Well, answers say maybe. Get back! Okay, fine. Jeez, I'm just trying to save the world. I don't care for you, stupid lady. Hello, sir. After Castlevania 1, Castlevania, I warned you not to return. Who are you? Are you breaking the fourth wall? Turn left for the Wicked Ditch. Wicked Ditch is what it's called. Go right to go north. What? That doesn't make sense. Some last minute like jargon for the finale of the game, right, folks? What do you say? You've upset the people. Now get out of the town. Well, you're not gonna do anything to me. How did I upset you? I just walked in. Didn't even have to rest because I leveled up. So the cross in Aruba's mansion must be found. Yeah, we did grab it. Thanks, you dude. Just in case we need to go back and then beat Camilla. Yeah, kind of a weird move to be able to avoid the enemies and then find out you actually have to kill one of them to beat the game. So, someone once again tore out the floorboards. Who knew? Yeah, I got really lucky in the last episode by gaining that level. Although, even though I was gonna heal anyway, but that really helped. So, anyway, let's max out our laurels. Why not? How many do we have left? Okay. Yeah, I'll just max it out. Why not? Actually, interesting enough, if you're going for the legit way to defeat Dracula, it's actually worth buying the laurels to fight him more efficiently, just in case if you take too many hits, you could always activate a laurel, but I'll talk about that when we actually get to Dracula. Yeah, well, I mean, I said the finale, so obviously we're going to go to Dracula today, so let's see if we don't take too much damage in the final area. Towards Dracula's abode. Some last minute, yeah, some areas reminiscent of one of the earlier parts. Didn't want to make that mistake. We had the flame whip, so long reach and everything, man. Okay, I guess I do need. Yeah, I have a decent amount of hearts. I'm fine with. I have plenty of hearts for the using the sub weapons for the finale. So, more twin. Jeez, calm down, guys. Oy. Talk about a last minute like sucker punch, huh? Alright, another poison swamp. Rather not take the damage. Like I said, I want to be crisp and clean for the finale. Alright, so I think in this one there's two. You can either. I think I have to. Oh, now I remember. Okay, so going right takes you. Basically, you don't have to go there at all. There's like no point in going. It takes you to another version of the Dennis Woods or whatever, or Denise Woods or whatever. But we want to go down in this case. So, I mean, I guess I could have showed it off, but you know, it depends. So, then the final town of the game, the town of. Turn right for Vlad's Graveyard. You mean Vlad's Graveyard? Yeah, another translation issue. Left for Dora Woods. So, yeah, we were in Dora Woods before. Actually, I think this is the... Is this the town of Dora? Oh, crap. Well, 6 is fine. Whatever. Actually, I don't even think... I think there's like one person in this town, actually, if I recall. Out of the final, which makes sense. I guess the final town would be empty because that's the closest towards Dracula's castle. So, I'm trying to remember what this final town's called now. It's like Ola or something like that, or yeah. Sorry for not remembering. Yeah, I mean you could look it up if you want to find out. Yeah, okay. One final person, and they say, "Let's live here together." I gotta beat Dracula, otherwise I'll die from the curse, and I might even die anyway, because I took a while, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, at Vlad's Graveyard, or Vlad's Graveyard, which is what it's supposed to be. So, the final steps for the No. Okay, good. Yeah, might as well collect those hearts because, like I said, they use sub-weapons, so. Come on. Come on, you dang dirty bird. Oh, well, you ran off. Another version of the spooks, specters, whatever. Yeah, with the flame whip, these guys are pretty... well, maybe it is appropriate that we have that horrible knight to have a curse when fighting Dracula. Not that it changes. It doesn't change because how much damage he takes or anything like that. It's just for the outside, so... So it'll take us about 10 days to beat Dracula. Oh, well. Yeah, I've only been a bit more efficient. So, yeah, we're at Dracula's castle officially. So the only way to get in here is to make sure I have every single... make sure I have the cross, which you see... If you see under the flame whip, which it says F-whip, right next to it you see the little sock thing. That's the silk bag. And then right next to it is the cross. And then we've got the rib, heart, eye, nail, and ring. And then the red crystal, which obviously is not a big deal. And then we've got the silver ring, we got the dagger, the silver dagger, the golden dagger, the holy water, the diamond, which I didn't even use, actually, and the sacred flame. We want to equip the sacred flame for what I want to do here, so... anyway, oh yeah, we have to destroy the blocks here. Yeah, if we didn't have any of those items, we wouldn't be able to enter Dracula's castle, so... And a long stretch of bridge. I guess it's supposed to be reminiscent of the other games where you'd have to cross the long bridge to actually enter his castle in the first place. So that means we're going to enter his castle, right? That means we're going to have like a mini epic adventure inside the castle on our way to fighting Dracula, right? Right? Well, I like the music for this place. Oh, yeah, I guess I could have... No, I got the whip. Yep, the remnants of Dracula's castle. It's not the whole 10-stage area like it was in the first game. Nope. Oh, I can't wait to fight all these nasty creatures inside of this place. Oh, man. It's going to be epic. I can't wait to fight whatever's in here. Oh, yeah, if you have the nail, you can just blast all this stuff. Oh, yeah, I guess we need the holy water for this part here. Oh, man, I can't wait for what enemies. Are we going to fight the monster? Are we going to fight the mummies again? Is Medusa going to make an appearance? Oh, man. I can't wait to see what's going on. Although it is kind of barren in here. I'm surprised we haven't been fighting any minions. No Medusa heads, no skeletons. No, oh, I don't know, spearmen or ghosts or rats, bats, cats, two-headed serpent creatures, what else? Blobs, trying to think what else. Huh. That's weird. So, that's it, huh? That's it? That's Dracula's castle? Yep. Anyway, let's summon Dracula and beat him. Yeah, Dracula's castle kind of like an anticlimax, really. Oh, well. Alright, Dracula. You are mine! Come forth! Why do you look like, the Grim Reaper? Anyway, yeah, this is how you kill him. Just keep throwing the Sacred Flame in him. He's stuck in place, so don't worry about the flicker, glitch flicker or whatever. He's taking damage, by the way. Yeah, he can't break out of this. He's taking damage. He's taking damage. Yep, and he's dead. Yeah. Oh, well. Although, even though the programmers had little money, anyway, although the confrontation between Simon and Dracula has concluded, sounds like I'm speaking as like a 5-year-old or something like that, Simon couldn't survive his fatal wounds. The Transylvania's only hope is a young man who sound it out, will triumph over evil and rid the city of Dracula's deadly curse. Were you leading up for the third game? No, the third game's like a completely different story altogether, so. Yep, and that's it for Castlevania 2. By the way, this screen is the best ending, but the dialogue I got was I think the middle ending, which is where you die of your wounds. So yeah, this game is so messed up that when they brought this over to America, I don't know if it's the same in the Famicom version, but in the American version, they messed up the endings. So I got the middle ending, which is what happens when you beat the game within 8 to 14 days. But I got the picture as if I got the best ending. So what does that mean? Well, I can show you what the other endings are, and I can talk about that as well. So give me just a second. I have to go back. I have to basically, what I'm going to use is I'm going to use a password to get back to this point, get back to the point where I get to Dracula, but I wait till after 15 days, and I'll show you what that ending says despite whatever's going on. So I'll see you all in just a second. All right, we're back, and this time I've made it to day 16. I basically just left my console running a bit just to get it, because I was at day, 10 or something like that when I beat it the first time. So, then we're at Dracula's castle, and I'm going to show you what happens when you get the worst ending of the game. And yeah, if you already noticed, there was no credits at the end of the game. The game just ends, so I feel bad for all the people who actually worked on the game. I mean, you can look it up now, but at the time, you were pretty much, SOL'd in the early days of certain game consoles. Like, either credits weren't there or they were hardly publicized because of the, back then it was because, I guess game creators were afraid of having their employees, kind of snatched from them, so they made sure not to have their names there. Nowadays, obviously, there's a little bit more respect to the game creators, not by much, though. And, yeah, unfortunately, the final, like I mentioned before, the final Dracula's castle is, yeah, kind of barren at this point, so, oh well, what can you do about that? So, I wonder if that was their original plan, or if that was something they kind of scrapped when they tried to rush this out, because I think this game came out, less than a year after the first one. They, really rushed this game, despite all the features in it, and I guess I can talk about the game while I play. It's just, I actually... Playing this again, I ended up enjoying this more than I expected, despite... I mean, if I was playing this from scratch with no idea of what I was doing, maybe I'd be a bit more frustrated on it. And it would take me a bit more time, obviously, and then this is one of those games where you replay over and over and over again just to kind of figure out how to get faster so you can get the best ending. Although, because we already know that the endings are screwed up, we get, these weird images that don't reflect the text. Like I said, I got the middle ending, but it gave me the best ending screen where Simon's kneeling on the grave of Dracula because he beaten him and won, but the dialogue said he died in battle, which was the mid ending, or somewhat good ending, because Dracula still technically died at least at a point. So anyway, let's fight Dracula legit this time, surprisingly enough. He takes 16 hits with the flame whip, or if you have the Morning Star, a bit more than that. One of the tricks is to obviously have laurels with you, and holy water wouldn't be too bad, but the big one is the golden dagger if you've got that, because it'll stun lock him just like the sacred flame, but it won't be as basically as broken as the flame thing. So yeah, I don't know if I wonder who the first person to figure out that all you had to do was just stun lock. Actually, I think it was actually pretty. Yeah, he hits you pretty quickly. Oh well, he's not moving from his position. It actually takes him a while to leave. Oops. Yeah, and he throws size at you and stuff like that. So yeah, he's actually kind of tough, actually, surprisingly. So actually, I was trying to see. Yeah, see, oh, I killed him. There you go. Yeah. Well, I didn't even get to use the golden dagger. So, and that's it. Now this is the bad ending. So, oh, it actually reflects the bad ending. Let's see what the actual dialogue say. The battle has consummated. Now, peace and serenity have been restored to Transylvania. Wait a minute. This picture does not indicate that this is this is the bad, or this picture indicates bad ending, but the text indicates good. And the people are free of Dracula's curse. Forever. Forever. And you, Simon Belmont, will always be remembered for your bravery and courage. And there you go. That's it for the... So, we get the bad ending. We get the bad ending, but it shows as if we got the best ending of the game. Yeah, that's a bit weird, don't you think? So, yeah, another glitched up ending. So we get the picture of the bad ending because it's all black and white. Simon isn't there, but yet the dialogue says we got the best ending. So what does the best ending get you? Well, let's find out. In this case, I'm going to password this time. So you press select and password. Now you put in your password to get the best stuff in the game. You know, I was about to say before we killed Dracula, I was like, I wonder who's the first person to figure out like what the best way to beat Dracula is. And I'm like, wait a minute. Someone did. Like, I think it was either not Game Genie, but there was actually a game show that talked about passwords, and I think even like Nintendo Power or something like that had the trick to do the Sacred Flame trick. So someone figured it out pretty quickly, actually. So anyway, if we want the max password for this, which is basically you get everything in the game, if I remember correctly anyway, so let's see. Okay. And this is supposed to basically get you everything in the game, so that means Flame Whip, all the items, so you can just go basically straight to Dracula's castle. Now the thing is, you have to still go through the areas. You can just basically skip going through the mansions, though, so you basically go straight to the end, so you can show the best ending of the game, despite the fact we've basically seen it vicariously through the other endings. So, ZK. I had to write this down before because I didn't remember the... At least I hope I've got this right. Let's see what happens. Player 3, start. And we start with, yep, we got 8 clovers, 8 laurels, all the pieces, oak stake, cross, silk bag, flame whip. Just, we don't have the levels for it, but and we're even invincible at this point for some weird reason. At the beginning, anyway. So, okay. So let me go heal really quick. And basically what I'm going to do is, off screen, I'm basically going to beat the game again. But we can skip most of the places because we don't have to do it. Actually, let me see if I actually remember how to get to the end of the game without actually... oh, I guess we're at max level 2, technically. Okay, cool. What does it show there? Oh, yeah, level 6. So level 6 is the last level of the game. Huh. Let me see. I'm trying to... if I don't remember exactly how to get to the end, I may just skip to Dracula's castle again. But I was trying to see if maybe I could actively, on screen, show me getting to the very end of the game by just muscle memory. So I probably will. Oh, right. Flame. There we go. Yeah, sure. Why not? So let's see if we can really quickly go through this game again and see if I can, now that I have everything maxed out, I can legitimately get to the Dracula with, oh yeah, the Poison Swamp. Okay. Go this way. Right this way, sir. Yeah, see, we're already, like, a good deal of the first episode I had to go back the other way. So, sure, I'll take you. We're already at the, like, halfway point. Although, you could easily go this way if you just didn't know what you needed to do or whatever, so. Did he just go through me? Easy peasy, Gary teasy. No problem. Yeah, just, I wonder if I can beat it in a day. Probably not, but we'll see what happens. It's almost kind of funny just to be able to just skip through this game without no problem, you know? But anyway, I guess I could just talk about the game in general. So, yeah, after... I mean, I was talking about it earlier, but then we went straight to Dracula, so I had to kind of... Okay, so we couldn't beat it in the first section or whatever, but yeah, I don't know, I kind of... there's a bit of a charm to this game, despite, like, all the glitches and everything like that. And obviously, if I wanted to play the full, like, a fixed version of this, there's, like, plenty of, like, fans who have long since, like, fixed a bit of this disaster by... I think it was called, like, the restored cut or something like that. Like, some hacker basically sped up the text, made the dialogue more logical for the most part, so you knew like what was going on in the dang game, which is kind of fun. But there was something weird about like the weird dialogue, like they had to like puzzle together, almost like, even though we know it was an issue and it was or they didn't mean for that to happen, but I almost feel like there was some intention with like how the game was designed like this, like they meant for it to be like that. So it kind of almost gives it a unique feel that the game just didn't spoon feed you the whole thing. You had to kind of figure it out via context clues, because some of the stuff doesn't, some of the clues clearly don't work. No matter what you do, they just don't tell you the story. But then there's other things that are like, well, I clearly can understand it to the point. It's a bit weird, but I get it, you know, especially with the hint book. So they, even in the game, they knew to like give you some clues on how to beat this section. So it's not like the game designers didn't think of this period. They kind of knew that they were making a different game from the original Castlevania. And like I said at the beginning of this whole thing, the game was designed with... wait, that's the white crystals. Can I even still do this? I might actually still... Huh, I actually still have to go get the red and blue crystals. That's weird. Huh. Okay, well then I'll have to skip when I get the red crystal. So, for some reason I thought you got the red crystal automatically. Alright, well I'll see you when I get to Dracula's castle again. Or at least when I get back to this part, when I get to the red crystal or whatever. So, see you all in a second. And we're back, so I finally got the, well, blue crystal. I'm about to get the red crystal, but I thought it'd be a good spot to just get it to here. Unfortunately, I had to wait a couple of days because of just the timing, so we're at day 2. I don't know if there's a way to get it faster or anything like that, but anyway, as I was talking about before, so I was like, well, even with all the issues with the game, I still liked it despite like the weird dialogue and everything like that. But I think there's some things going for it. I think the RPG system, kind of weirdly works for this game, you know, upgrading your weapons to get better and better. Obviously, if this is a more full-scale game, it'd probably get a lot more love than what it does today. And then, well, I mean, one of the big things about this game is the music. It's probably got some of my favorite like, it created some of the more famous soundtracks in the whole game series came from this game. So without it, who knows what we would... I mean, we probably would have gotten good music eventually, but this brought about some of the more classic songs like Vampire Killer, or Bloody Tears and stuff like that. Although it's not my favorite soundtrack of Castlevania, that's a tough one. That might be Rondo of Blood, actually. But I don't know. This one has a really good soundtrack too. And obviously, one of the big problems with this game is the lack of bosses. Unlike in the previous game, where after every major stage you fight a boss, in this case, you only had to fight 2 bosses, technically. The Grim Reaper is completely optional unless you want that awesome weapon, which I didn't even use the sub-weapons that often. I'll admit, they weren't utilized as well as they could have. Or at least, I don't think they were. I mean, you didn't even get like ones like the axe or anything like that. But then again, this was made before like what was required for, or what most people expected out of sequels, so they're kind of just flying it by the hip, you know, making a completely different game than what they made before. So you gotta give them credit for that, I guess. But still, I don't know. Like I said, you could tell that there was effort into it. Like, if they had a board to go on, it probably would have been a more epic game. And people still like this game. Like, there's people talk about how they like the game and everything like that. But I mean, obviously, it's nostalgia talking to a certain extent. I'll admit, like, in the grand scheme of games, this is obviously not like triple tier best game ever, but I don't know, there's something about it, and the fact it's not a very long game either. You know, well, depending on how good you are at it, you know, could be taking anywhere from like a couple hours to 10 hours, depending on like what you know. Obviously, this only took me like what was the see how many episodes 5, so that's only 2.5 hours. I could probably beat it a lot faster, to tell you the truth, if I'd like been a bit more efficient, because I was kind of playing this with like more basic knowledge of this game and trying to remember a little bit, so there was a couple of times there in the middle where I wasn't 100% sure what I needed to do to get to the next section of the game. So, you know, and obviously there's okay, I didn't expect that. So experts obviously could beat in like less than 2 hours, probably a lot more efficiently, without the password, obviously. They probably skip like a lot of the upgrades and stuff like that, which a lot of that stuff isn't even required anyway. But yeah, look at this. I'm almost done with the game, and it didn't really take me that long off screen to get the blue crystal and walk back. You know, it only took like maybe a few minutes or something like that at best. But of course, we're using the password here. And I'm trying to think what else about the game I liked. I did like the fact that they threw hint books. They could have easily not have thrown hints in the game at all and just made us, I mean, with the, you know, villager dialogue, and then they actually had the hint books, which you had to figure out by just playtesting, or just messing with the game. Although, even at this point in the game, people were looking for ways to figure out how to beat a game, like via, of course, maybe that was a cheap way to, like, guarantee, like, guidebook sales and stuff like that. It's hard to say. I like to think it wasn't as shallow as that, but who knows back in the day. As bad as things were back now, things back in the day were pretty bad, too, in a lot of respects, especially in the early days of gaming. So I guess that thing really hasn't changed when you think about it. And I also love the designs of a lot of the monsters and stuff like that, despite them not being, well, except for Dracula, maybe. The fact that he looks like the Grim Reaper. You're like, you know, what's up with this? You know, that type of thing. Yeah, that was kind of weird. I think it's the idea that he was just put together, so I guess you could see it as it being a case of, you know, obviously his flesh doesn't come back together, and he got so pissed off at Simon, and he's just like, oh, I'm gonna kill you, and you're like, oh man, Dracula's pissed. But yeah, he still looks like the Grim Reaper. Actually, he looks like a better version of the Grim Reaper than the Grim Reaper we got. He was kind of silly looking. Yeah, the boss, and actually, if you don't choose the boss, Dracula is kind of tough when you think about it. I mean, I almost died without using the laurel, and technically I beat him before I used the laurel, but still, I mean, there was a better way to fight him, by like hanging out near the door. But I wanted to see what happened if you stood kind of in the center, because you're basically supposed to smack him while he's like teleporting around and stuff like that. But since I'm gonna just show the best ending, despite, you know, the messing up the endings, we're just gonna cheap kill him again, like last time. Oh, whoops! I was paying attention. I wasn't paying attention, and I accidentally went the leisurely route, which are, whoops. So, oh well. That's fine. Yeah, I forgot I was supposed to go downward, not right. Oops. I guess I was talking out my mouth, and well, that's what you do. But I wasn't paying attention to it. I was wondering why there was a bridge here. I was like, wait a minute, that's not right. Especially this part too. So, I was like, that looks familiar, but right. Okay, so maybe it took me longer than I expected. Sorry. But, trying to think what else. And obviously the whole night to have a curse thing, yeah, it takes forever, but I don't know, it's definitely set up the ambiance of the game. Like, the night is scary, you know. Do you dare dwell at night to continue your quest, or do you stay in the... Oh, I forgot that there were bats in town. I thought it was just zombies or ghouls or whatever. But yeah, do you dare go out to venture in the darkness knowing that the creatures of the night are more powerful than you are? Or do you hold up in, like, around town where, you know, where people might show you leniency before the dawn comes, you know? But obviously, if you don't heed forward, you will suffer Dracula's curse, so that's supposed to be the challenge of trying to beat the game within a reasonable amount of time. To get the endings. Too bad they messed up the endings. So that's the one thing I can't really forgive, is them messing up the endings when they brought it over. How they even like, what happened in the coding for that to happen? That had to have been from the American version. Like, something happened with the translation and they coded it incorrectly. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't remember anyone talking about the Famicom having messed up endings. So I assumed that when they were coding the translation and then making it for American audience, they messed up the ending code or something like that. Oops. But like I said, I don't know. I never actually looked into this stuff. There's probably like whole history channels about Castlevania II and how it got screwed up and everything like that. So yeah, pretty easy to just get back to Dracula if you've got everything ready to go. What else was? I'm trying to think if there was anything else. And I weird as it is, I kind of almost like the dread of fighting Dracula in an empty castle. Like, oh, here we go. You know that. Like, people found it a little bit underwhelming. I can understand that completely. I'm not like, no, you're silly to have those feelings. No, I understand it. It's just, I can, from my standpoint, it almost feels like it's supposed to be building up to Dracula. And if you don't cheese him, like I said, it is a dangerous fight, you know. So, I don't know. Obviously, you could chalk this up to, obviously, either having to rush the game or something like that, obviously. But I like to think on the positive for the most part. Well, sort of. I do kind of nitpick some games unrelentlessly, yet I give this game a pass, and yet, you know, this is probably worse than some most modern games when you think about it. But I don't know, maybe it's because of the simplicity of it. Oh yeah, and I forgot to talk about the character designs of Simon. I like the red and black. I don't know, it just seems so more suave or regal or whatever you want to call it, as opposed to his like orange leather outfit from before. But too bad we never see this look again. Even in other versions of Simon, they never show him in this format ever again. So all right, let's beat the game one more time, and we'll just do it the cheesy way since I showed you the legit way to beat Dracula. And man, the game gives you plenty of time to like smack Dracula on his altar there. Like, it takes like, I don't know, like 10-20 seconds for him to finally move from that spot. Like, plenty of time to get in some free hits. Now I like how you summon Dracula, where, you know, actually that might not be a skull, that might be a mask. But anyway, I like how you summon him. You know, the fire effect that pops when he summons or dies, you know. Too bad it's a case of Dracula being summoned and dying almost immediately there afterwards, which almost become a trend on some of the other Castlevania games, like Order of Ecclesia and stuff like that. And this is what the neutral ending would have looked like. This is the picture you would have got where Simon dies from his wounds. But the ending dialogue we get is the encounter with Dracula is terminated. What? What is with some of the lines on this one? This is weird. Simon Belmont has put an end to the eternal darkness in Transylvania. Oh, actually, this might be the neutral ending, because I think when Simon dying from his wounds is the bad ending. So we got the bad ending and the neutral ending, the dialogue. So his blood and sweat have penetrated the earth and will induce magic and happiness for those who walk on this land. Man, that sounds epic. And I love the ending music too, as well, so. And yeah, you can tell it's the neutral ending because Dracula will rise again, that type of thing. Or at least the picture we see is the neutral one, even though that... So for people who do the best ending, they get that version and think, oh, it's setting up for a sequel, which technically there never is a sequel to Simon Belmont's story, because Simon is in the first and second game, which are direct... obviously, this is the sequel to that one. And he reappears in Castlevania Chronicles... Or, I'm trying to remember Castlevania Chronicles or Super Castlevania comes first. I think Chronicles came and then... But that was only in Japan. Or the remake. And then they had Super Castlevania 4, which is just a remake of 1 again, from what I understand, story-wise. And then I think last time Simon makes an appearance is like the fighting game or something like that, because obviously his tale was only told the 2 times. But Simon's made the most appearance. Actually, that might be Alucard, actually. I was about to say Simon's made the most appearance out of any characters in the games, but no, that might be Alucard actually. With like, I think he had like 1, 2, 3 appearances. Actually, no, 4 actually. So I think Alucard might have gotten the most appearances. It was Simon for the longest time. But anyway, that's it for Castlevania 2. I showed you all the endings and how to get every item in the game. I didn't show you every single location because some of them were kind of pointless. But I hope you enjoyed it in this Halloween season. And well, maybe one day I'll do the rest of the Castlevanias. I know I did the Lord of Shadow ones like or the sequel Lord of Shadows 2 a long time ago, but I might do more of the classic ones maybe next year for next Halloween. But I hope you had a spooky season. Enjoyed this somewhat I wouldn't say messed up, somewhat broken game, but still classic to many who grew up with this type of thing. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next game.